Am I on? Am I live? Okay. All right, everybody, here's the review. I'm going to go through this quickly. You can stop it, pause it anytime you want, but I'm just going to go through it. So first of all, number one, what I see is a pair of opposites, okay? And if you don't see that, then I'll show you where they are. Opposite angle, opposite side, so law of sines. So I can find angle P first. So let's go after angle P. I will go sine of P over its opposite side, 19, equals sine of 54 over its opposite side, which is 16. I'll multiply up the 19. Again, if this goes too fast, just pause it. And I'm going to go 19 sine 54 divided by 16. I should get a decimal. I do. Sine inverse, because I'm looking for the angle, and I get an answer of about 70. We'll go 73.9. Okay, 73.9. 73.9. And of course, to get angle I, I'll subtract from 180, right? So I just go 180 minus the sum of my 73.9 plus my 54, and I get an answer of about 52.1 for angle I. And then finally, to get little I, side I, again, opposites, right? See my opposites, opposites. I will set up little I over the sine of its opposite angle, which is 52.1, equals, let's use the 19, is more accurate. No, let's use the 16 over the sine of 54, more accurate. That's what I meant to say. Okay, and again, I'll multiply up the sine of 52, and I'll just go boom. I'll go 16 times the sine of 52.1, close parentheses, divided by sine of 54, and I get an answer of about 15.6, okay? All right, that one's done. Okay, little I is about 15.6 centimeters, okay? Whisk this away, and let's look at number two. Again, I'm going fast because I have got to get this done. So I have side, angle, side, right? I got side, angle, side, so I can find the opposite side, little a, by the law of cosines. So opposite squared. Look up your notes if you don't know what I'm doing. Opposite squared is equal to adjacent squared plus adjacent squared minus 2 times my other adjacent, which is 10, times my other adjacent, which is 7, times the cosine of 115 degrees. Put that in my calculator, and I will square root that. So first of all, 10 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 10 times 7 times the cosine. 115, close parentheses, enter, and I will take the square root of that because it's a squared equals the 208.16. So square root, right? You guys agree? Square root of that answer, and I get an answer about 14.4. So little a is about 14.4. Okay, now, what if I want another angle? Well, shoot, let's see. I've got a pair of opposites. So how about angle T? Why not? Angle T and the 10. I've got the 115, the 14. So I have my opposite. So now I like the law of sines because it's easier. So I'm going to go, okay, sine of T over its opposite side, which is 10, equals sine of 115 degrees over its opposite side, which is the 14.4, and I'll multiply up the 10. Okay, I can get that answer. Let's use my calculator. Just going to go on over 10 times the sine of 115, close parentheses, divided by 14.4, and I will get a decimal. I expect that, so I'm going to go sine inverse of that answer, and I get an answer of about 39 degrees, okay? So angle T is about 39 degrees. Let me put that in my triangle, and then I'll find angle C from 180 degrees. Angle C, 180 minus my 39 degrees plus my 115. We're going to let the calculator do the work, and we'll just go clear. We'll go 180 minus parentheses 39 plus 115. Get an answer about 26. Okay, so angle C is about 26 degrees. Boom. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Oh, wait a minute. There's one of these we had to find the area on. Oh, yeah. Problem number one. Let me go back to problem number one. I had to find the area. Area is easy. 1/2 adjacent. Let's see, which is, well, let's just use this 1/2 adjacent 16 times the other adjacent, which is 19, times the sine of its angle, 52.1. Almost forgot that. Clear. I'm going to go 0.5 times 10 times, oops, not 10, 16, my bad. 16, as I'm sloppy, huh? Times 19 times the sine of 52.1. And I get the area to be about 119.9, okay? Centimeters squared, okay? All right, moving on. Number 3, okay? I have all 3 sides. So what I'm going to do is use the law of cosines to find the angle. I normally go for the biggest angle because, you know, we'll learn this out later when we do the unit circle, but biggest angle in the law of cosine, so I'm going to go cosine of E is equal to parentheses adjacent squared plus the other adjacent squared minus the opposite squared. And if you have these formulas in your notes, that'd be a great idea, times 2, because it's in the formula, times the adjacent times the other adjacent, and I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to get a decimal, and don't forget your parentheses. Don't forget your parentheses. 39 squared plus 37 squared minus, whoops, 43 squared parentheses. Don't forget the parentheses. Divided by parentheses. 2 times my 39 times my 37. I get a decimal. Expected that, and I'm going to go cosine inverse, right, of that answer. I get about 68.9 cosine inverse of the answer, and I get it to be about 68.9 degrees. Okay, let me put that in my triangle. That's angle E, 68.9 degrees. And then what I'm going to do is set up the law of sines, because, you know, I've got my opposites, right? Law of sines there and there. You can use the law of cosines again, but I'm not going to do it. Probably, let's go angle B. Okay, it's opposite. So I'll set up the sine of B equal over 39. Its opposite side equals the sine is 68.9 over its opposite, which is the 43. I will multiply up the 39, and I'll use my calculator. 39 times the sine of 68.9. Close my parentheses. Divided by 43, and I get an answer, I get a decimal. That's okay, I can deal with that because I'm going to go sine inverse of that answer, and I get an answer about 57.8, okay? Angle B about 57.8 degrees, okay? So if I put that in there, then all I got to do is find angle N. To find angle N, I'm just going to go from 180 degrees minus the sum of my 68.9 plus my 57.8. And I'm going to just use my calculator. 180 subtract the sum of 68.9 plus my 57.8, and I get an answer for about 53.3 degrees. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay, now let's take a look at number 4. Now, number 4, you're going to have to draw it to scale. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. So I'm going to go and make an angle A, 30 degrees, right about there. Make the length of that be 6.5, so I want to draw B, so 6.5. Draw it to scale. Okay. 6.5, that's side B, angle A, which is 30 degrees. And then little a can have one of 2 ways to do it. Either the 4 is here, and I got to make it fit, or, believe it or not, it could also fit in here. So we do get 2 triangles, and we'll look at this second triangle in just a little bit. Okay, first, then to solve this big one, you should be able to do it. You've got your 4, you set up your opposites. Here's B and C, so I'm going to go sine B over 6.5 equals sine 30 over 4. Multiply that up. I am going fast. I'm doing that on purpose because I want to get this done so you can watch it, okay? 6.5 sine 30 divided by 4. I get a decimal. Of course, I get a decimal. Sine inverse that answer, and I get about 54.3. Okay, so 54, put that in there, 54.3, okay? And then I will let you continue. You can get the angle, and then you can get the side C by the law of sines. But I want to move on and talk about the other triangles. So now if I drew my 4 also here, here's the trick to doing this, okay? I really get this triangle, okay? Which is correct. It is correct, because this is indeed 4. Then the trick to doing this is to know that this is an isosceles triangle. Angle B is no longer here because the triangle is this one. Angle B is now there. So this 54.3 for a base angle is also 54.3 for a base angle here. So angle B, which is this obtuse angle, angle B can be found by 180 minus the sum, minus this 54, my bad, 54.3, because a straight line is 180 degrees. And then let's see, 180 minus my 54.3, and I get an answer about 125. So angle B is about 125.7. Okay, and then of course you get angle C from 180 degrees, and this little side C here is this side. You get that by the law of sines. Okay, all right, moving on because I want to make sure I get this done. Okay, find the area. Well, area formula: 1/2 adjacent times adjacent times the sine of an angle. Well, in this case, I got a right triangle. I like that. Boom. Here's triangle 1. That's easy. Triangle 1. Triangle 1. 1/2. 14 times 8, because it's a right triangle, base times height, right? So that's easy. What's that, 56? Yeah, it's got to be 56. Half of that's 7. That's just 56 centimeters squared. I'm going to circle that and come back to that, okay? And then I still need side angle side on this, right? So probably what I'm going to have to do is I've got my 14. Oh boy. Well, let's find this side right here. Okay, let's find this side by Pythagoras theorem. I'm going to go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, so I'm going to go 14 squared plus 8 squared, enter square root of that Pythagoras theorem, right? Right. Yeah. So I get this to be about 16.1. I need this angle. Okay, so let's find, first of all, let's call this alpha because I want theta. So right triangle. I'm going to find theta by opposite adjacent. So tangent of theta is equal to the opposite over the adjacent, and I'm going to tangent inverse that. Right triangle trig, right? Just opposite over adjacent. I can do that. Oh, see, tangent inverse of 8 divided by 14. I get an answer of about 29.7. So alpha is about 29.7. So then theta. Okay, let's look at the picture. This is 29.7. Let's subtract from 130. So we got 130, subtract my 29.7. Clear that. 130 minus my 29.7. I get an answer about 100.3. So this angle, 100.3. I can now use that formula to find the area, right? So if I find triangle 2, area is going to be 1/2 adjacent, 12. The other adjacent, 16.1, and sine of a 100.3. Kind of squeezed in there. Sorry, you guys. Squished. I should have made more room. 0.5 times 12 times 16.1. times the sine of 100.3, and I get an answer of about 95. Okay, so triangle 2 is about 95. Add these two together, so we're going to go triangle 1 plus triangle 2. So I'm going to go 56 plus 95, grand answer of 151 for the area of that thing. 151. Okay, all right, now last but not least, number 6. Let's do it, huh? All right, 6. Two ships leave port at the same time. Ship A travels in a bearing of north 15 east. All right, what's that? Okay. So I'll put here. Port over here because I kind of know which way it's going, okay? North 15 degrees east. And we're going to go 8 knots, so 15 degrees, about there. 10, 15, it's about there. And I'm going to draw that 8 centimeters. Yeah, that'll fit. I'll make it fit. I'll make it fit. Okay, so here we go. We're taking a journey. There's my 8. There's ship A. I'm going to make sure I put 15 here degrees and make sure that's 8, okay? Ship B, let's see, ship B is going to go north 35 west. North 35 west. So I'm going to go 35 degrees towards the west. Let's see what I got, okay? I get my 10, 20, 35 west. Okay, I'm going that direction. And a speed of 10. Ooh, will that fit? Oh yeah, it'll fit. Sure, it'll fit. There it is. Okay. That'll fit. There's B. And I know this angle's 35. So if I add the two, I get 50 degrees. I need that. How far apart are they? They are this distance here is what I'm looking for. How long are they going to travel, though? They're going to travel for 2 hours. Okay, so they're going to travel for 2 hours. Multiply that by 2, multiply that by 2. This is 20 kilometers. I'm sorry, not kilometers, probably not. Nautical miles, yes. And this is 16 nautical miles. So I've got my side angle side. I'm going to find this length. I'm going to go c squared is equal to 20 squared plus 16 squared minus 2 times 20. 16 cosine of 50. And of course I'll take the square root of that. So I'm going to go 20 squared plus 16 squared minus 2 times 20 times 16 times the cosine of 50, and I get an answer of 244, but I don't take the square root of that, right? Square root of 244. C squared equals about a 244.6 square root that, and square root that answer, and I get about 15.6 kilometers away. And then the last piece, I'll let you figure that out because that might be kind of like the extra. In this case, almost looks like due east, doesn't it? Okay, that's all I have. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Test on Friday. Do the review. Do it. Do the review.